Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Standing on business.
Standing on business.
Stand on business.
What's up, brownies? In this episode of Standing on Business, we'll be looking at the situation between Nene Leakes and Porsha Williams and determine if either one of them was standing on business or if this was just wrong all the way around. Spoiler alert, despite the evidence I give in the video, my final diagnosis at the end just might shock you. So by now, I'm sure that most of you have heard about this one-sided beef going on with Porsha and Nene, where they were supposed to work on a Netflix show together, and allegedly Porsha pulled out because she didn't want to work with Nene. Nene then decides to take this private matter that none of us would have known about and blast it to the internet. So to be clear, Porsha pulled out. She didn't say, I don't want to work with her, so it's either me or her, thereby making an effort to stop your bag and opportunities and shine. She bowed out gracefully and they replaced her. So you still got to secure the bag and prove yourself and make headway after Carlos King really did his big one and really did you a solid by giving you, about 3 hours worth of interview time to talk about how you had been blackballed and what you've built and what you've done and how you deserve more opportunities. And so now you have one of the types of opportunities that could really put you in a different light and turn things around for you. You get the bag and then you turn around and you do this. As you have continued to spin the narrative over the last couple of years about how everybody is against you, everybody owes you something was taken from you unjustly, you were blackballed, you deserve more opportunities, you're the only star on the planet, apparently, and everybody else is starless. I am going to show you with your very own words, because I bring the receipts, that perhaps as you continue to try to look for the root cause of the problem of the downturn that your career took over the past few years, maybe the problem is the woman in the mirror. Maybe you don't recognize her though, because just about everything on you head to toe is brand new. And as you pretended to be both angry and shocked in the video that you made, what that really showed was you've had so much work done on your face that it barely even moves. So you can't even convey expression, which is a key part in acting. Let's listen to some of the words that have come out of your mouth over the years, and you tell me, does this sound like a person that you would want to work with, or that a network would think that this is a safe bet? Let's get into the receipts.
So I'm going to say some names, and I want you to tell me if they're stars or starless. Giselle Bryant.
Starless.
Robin Dixon.
Starless.
Claudia Jordan.
Starless.
Kenya Moore.
In between.
What about Porsha?
Porsha has star potential.
Phaedra.
I don't see Phaedra as a star.
Kandi.
I don't see Kandi as, and so I can't even pretend today, I've never seen Kandi as a star. I have seen Kandi as a supporting star, but not as the star.
Now I'll play a very abridged version of what she said in her stories without all of the dramatic pauses and unnecessary details and the fluff, getting straight to the point. But I want you to pay attention to her talks of not denying other Black women opportunities or tearing down their reputation, professionalism, and how she never misses an opportunity to drag Kandi for no reason at all. Then you'll hear more receipts, some feedback from people who have worked with her in the past, and also a very important life lesson at the end.
Earlier this week, I was told by my management company that the Netflix scripted series called The Upshaws were interested in casting me for a part. Directing this particular episode is Kim Fields. They told me that Porsha Williams Gubadia was also playing in this particular series. She would be side by side with me. So Porsha never came. I went back to my hotel. When I got to my hotel, production called me and asked me if I had any issues with any housewives because they were going to be recasting the other position. They ultimately cast Cynthia Bailey. I was later told Porsha did not show up to work and had said that she did not want to work with me, that we had issues from the past. I am more than disappointed. I am shocked to hear that Porsha would go to a production company and say that she doesn't want to work with me because we've had a lot of issues in the past. What lots of issues that we had in the past. And when you call a Black woman angry, difficult, we've got problems, I can't work with them on set, that is a death trap for a Black woman in the industry. Your issues in the past, if you had to pick a housewife, it certainly wouldn't be with me. It would have been with Kenya. It would have been with Kandi. Those were your major issues. We've had petty things. We're on a reality show. But we've not had anything where we could not work together. Sad and disappointed that Porsha would go to any company and say that she's had issues with me and we cannot work together. That is a lie. I text her. So it's not like I'm doing this video. I didn't text her. I text her. And she sent me a text back saying that she's going through her divorce and I didn't reach out to little sis. You and your husband were just happy and smiling in Dubai. I thought you guys were having a fight and maybe you guys are going to get back together. I don't know what y'all personal business are. I don't want to be nosy, okay? I don't want to invade your privacy. Maybe you need some time. I don't know what you need. When Porsha and I were on Housewives together, I fought for Porsha to stay on the show. When she drugged Kenya off that couch, she was saying all kind of things. I got down on my knees and put my hand over her mouth so that she wouldn't dig herself into a bigger hole. The bottom line is, Porsha did not want to share the spotlight. Porsha is not a star. She is a Bravo celebrity. Be clear.
Do you think you should be bigger than Kim Kardashian?
Absolutely. If not bigger, right there with her. I feel like they pushed Kim and they didn't push me. Kim came on after me. And they opened up every door and every opportunity for her, even putting us together at times and making her, much more bigger than me. She had North, obviously. I was at North baby shower with her and Kanye, but they pushed Kim to the front and pushed me to the back. And I don't think that was by chance. I think that was the way they wanted it to be. We were together because I was Nene and I came out before her and it just kind of looked good for us to be together. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. Chris had a talk show. I co-host with Chris on the talk show. And she was able to get opportunities and walk through doors that they just did not want me to walk through. She did Shoe Dazzle. I did Shoe Dazzle around the same time. Whenever we had businesses, it felt like we couldn't really show them that much on our show, but on their show, all they do is talk about their businesses. And I don't feel like we were able to do that as much. I just wasn't given the opportunities that she was giving.
And I actually think there's an argument to be made that there was a little bit of resentment towards the Black franchise killing all the white housewives in ratings. And I think she's absolutely correct with that. But Nene, some of your issues are from you. Because there was a point where you was America's sweetheart. Like everyone loved you. You had all these amazing opportunities, but you had brands, you had people checking for you. But there's an argument to be made. If we are keeping it a buck here, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, your attitude is a lot of the reason why you're not working right now. And on top of that, you do have racism. So I'm going to give you that. But you can't also help them along with, see, she's difficult, and give them an argument. I've been on set where you walked off and didn't want to do scenes, and you're funny. The camera wants to see you. The audience wants to see you. And it's like, it's a shame that you were like this, you were there, and people rock with you, and they still do miss you on television. And I do believe you should still be on something. You're highly entertaining. But I hope when you get this second chance around that you're a little bit easier to deal with and work with, and you can't just go hitting cameramen and just being a bully. And people are not putting up with the old antics that they used to because there's other people in line waiting to do what you got. Like they want your opportunity. And this is from Black woman to Black woman. This is no hate. This is no agenda. I just feel like you sometimes got to say, what have I contributed to this? And we all have to do that sometimes. I've had to do it myself, So that's what I think.
We don't have any issues that we can't work together. We are professionals. We get on set and we work together and do what we got to do. The bottom line is Porsha did not want to share the spotlight. Professionals can share the spotlight.
No, when I saw Phaedra, I didn't think that she was right for the show. I had known Phaedra from back in Athens, and I felt some kind of way that she was coming on the show.
Why?
I just did. Again, it was my baby, and I just felt like, what is she doing here? It was a privilege to be on this show. And so I always felt some kind of way when certain girls were like, oh, I want to be on Housewives. I was like, what's she coming over here for? Like, we worked so hard. And so when I saw Paige, I was like, she's from Athens. Like, what is she doing up here? I'm from Athens. She don't come over here and try to steal my thunder. I just felt like I was just protecting, my area and my space. But I'm just saying, at that time, at that moment,
Gotcha.
I was just like, no, she shouldn't be here.
What people need to understand when it comes to reality TV, one person cannot make a show. So a lot of people get mad because we have had so many special spinoffs and stuff like that. But it's because I'm by myself, an ensemble cast by myself. You see my family, whether it be my mama, who's a star, my husband, that stuff going on, my kids,
The aunties.
whether it be my aunts, whether it be the restaurant, everybody that's on, work for me in the restaurant, the candy coated clique, Don Juan, Carmen, it's like they are stars around. Like, I come with people who are ready to participate in my life and let it be seen by the world. So it doesn't matter if you don't just like me. It's everything that comes with me
that makes it a thing.
Yeah, and I'm okay with everybody in my team shining.
Yes.
Now, some certain people want to shine by themselves.
Yeah.
And that is the problem, when they think they're outshining everyone else. And then when you go outside of them, everyone else, and you see you ain't shining as bright.
It seems like you lost every other opportunity too. Nene is so dead set on being the star and projecting that she's a star that she literally sat in an interview and talked about how everybody that was ever on the show with her and anybody that was in any other franchise was star-less. So let's talk about why Nene is in the position that she's in and why Kandi's where she is now. The thing about a star is it can only illuminate a finite area, but a candle can light many other candles and still remain lit. And that's essentially what Kandi was talking about. She has no problem lighting the wick of everybody else around her. Kandi has created so many jobs in the community, so many other opportunities for other people, and that's because she is a candle. And that's actually what makes her a star. So the question is, was Nene standing on business when she put Porsha on blast? In order to give a proper diagnosis, we have to begin at the beginning. And if we do that, we're going to have to begin by giving Nene the grace and giving Porsha blame. And here's why. That's the first domino that fell. If this played out the way that Nene says, if Porsha didn't do what she did, nothing else happens. So let's address that first. There were dozens of other ways that you could have communicated that you would not be able to work on this project for whatever reason without tearing down somebody else's business reputation. You have the honor, privilege, and pleasure of working with a legend like Kim Fields. She's been in the industry since she was in diapers, plus she's worked on the same show and network as you. You could have used her as a resource. So had you just told her, hey, Kim, listen, I just signed that new deal with Bravo, NBC Universal, working with somebody that has recently sued them, is a conflict of interest, hit her with Shark Tank, and for these reasons, I'm out. You could have blamed it on a scheduling conflict. Baby, you could have blamed it on the sunshine, the moonlight, the good times. You could have blamed it on the boogie. You didn't have to blame it on Nene in the way that you did. Neither one of you have a leg to stand on in the who's more combative and difficult to work with game. Secondly, the staff member was wrong for giving Nene that information. And lastly, Nene was wrong for putting that information out to the public. But since Nene is the real topic, let's just go ahead and address her. I've given you all the grace that I can give you in this video. In previous videos, I have pointed out, hey, listen, there is a double standard between Black women and the pale people in this industry. We're always considered angry and combative, and we're never given second chances and the benefit of the doubt like they are. I've defended you before, and now we just have to call a thing a thing. As far as people blackballing you, dear, you've done so many things outside of just reality TV or Bravo. So, as someone who's done Broadway, as somebody who was cashing a Donald Trump check, as somebody who has worked on Ryan Murphy shows, why is it that none of these people that you've worked with and none of the contacts and connections that you've made in the industry, why haven't they called you back? Why haven't they worked with you again, especially now that your schedule has basically been wide open for the past 4 years? Because at some point in time, you might have to consider the fact that maybe they didn't enjoy working with you. Look at the people that you've worked with before. How many of them have you had a falling out with? How many of them have you had an issue with? Baby, if you have an issue with everybody you work with, then you're the issue. It's going to take some introspective work, probably an emotions coach, and then also a PR person, definitely. Somebody to peer check any and everything before you say it and post it. And you also need to work on your speech. Go back and listen to yourself. How do you sound? Your word choices, your word pronunciation, how you put words and sentences together. It's not good, sis. It's not professional. And also, if you want to be an actress, I was serious about this. All of the work that you've done to your face, it no longer moves. You can't convey emotion. You can't be an effective actress. And that's just that on that. This is not standing on business. This is stuck on stupid. And this is self-sabotage. Learn from this.
So you